Pirates are totally cool. So are squirrels. These are two of the coolest things ever. In the not-so-distant future, it is safe to assume that a pirate-squirrel hybrid creature will form, either through evolution or genetic tampering. This will most likely be compared to the invention of the wheel or the creation of the personal computer. In reality, once the hype dies down, many people will realize that both pirates and squirrels, and therefore the hybrid pirate-squirrel, are only passing fads. This will result in a massive emigration, as countless numbers of people move away from pirates, squirrels, and frightening combinations of the two onto other things, such as circus tents and elephants. Regardless of this inevitable truth, both the pirate and the squirrel will forever be remembered as incredibly cool, at least at the time. Eugene was neither a pirate nor a squirrel. Eugene was an accountant, and a damned good one at that. The coolest thing he had ever done was back in '93, when he placed second at the office ping pong championship. The first place winner, Todd from International, competed wearing a tie that was clearly breaking the company two-color protocol. Eugene hated that tie. What a shame. Eugene enjoyed ping pong immensely. He had once gone so far as to consider purchasing a ping pong table for his basement. However, Eugene had no basement. He had a bedroom, a living room, and a kitchen. Eugene had never heard of anyone putting a ping pong table in his kitchen. So, he didn't get one. Being an accountant, and a damned good one at that, most of the work Eugene did was accounting. He did not particularly enjoy accounting, but he preferred it to plumbing or possibly modeling. He lived alone in his apartment, although he was often visited by an elephant that was psychotic. The elephant, whose name Eugene did not know, apparently escaped on a regular basis from the local zoo, and always made a point to stop by Eugene's for tea. Eugene did not really like the elephant much, but he was afraid of it. So he always let it in and put on a fresh kettle. Apart from these visits, however, Eugene spent most of his time alone. He knew that most people who spent their time alone lived in their basements. But he had no basement. So he spent his time in the bathroom instead. He had a moderately sized bathroom with a sink, a shower, and a toilet. There was also a urinal. But Eugene wished there wasn't. At one point, many years ago, he had attempted to spice things up a bit by hanging a picture of a typewriter on the bathroom wall above the toilet. Unfortunately, this had backfired, as the picture had fallen onto his head during some of his alone time. Since then, he had been forced to be content with blank walls and a blank ceiling. This was not terrible. Eugene was every bit as boring as his bathroom. Outside of ping pong and alone time, Eugene had another passion: matchbooks. He was an avid collector, having acquired what he thought was perhaps the 5th or 6th largest collection in Connecticut. He kept them in a glass jar in his bedroom, so he could look at them as he drifted off to sleep. Eugene awoke to the familiar sound of the light bulb on his bedside table burning out. Jogging swiftly, he made his way out of the bedroom and into the kitchen, where he quickly prepared some plain toast. It occurred to him that plain toast was extremely boring, and he considered trying some cinnamon sugar on it. Tomorrow, he said to himself. What did not occur to him was the fact that he had been saying exactly that for 5 years. Eugene liked to entertain himself with little games. Every morning, he would try to finish his toast before he got to his car. Eugene tried to start the car. However, when he did so, it did not start. It would perhaps be more accurate to say that Eugene failed to start the car. He tried again. This was not normal. With a frown, he climbed back out of the car and went inside. Eugene called the people you were supposed to call about this sort of thing. They told him they could be there that afternoon to check things out. He didn't know what to do with himself, as he was not accustomed to having time like this on a Thursday morning. So he just sat there. With a look of moderate surprise, Eugene walked to the door and opened it. It was the elephant. This was strange, for the elephant had never come on a Thursday before. After serving some tea, Eugene sat down with the elephant. No sooner had he sat down when another knock came from the door. This was turning out to be a very strange day indeed. Evelyn Frances Hooper loved animals almost as much as she loved smiling. To put things in perspective, she was a former spokesperson for Trident Gum, where she was eventually fired for being too cheerful. She was eventually fired from most of her jobs for the same reason. They didn't believe that anyone could be so happy about life while sober. Evelyn explained to Eugene that she was searching for an elephant that was perhaps psychotic. Eugene found this strange. Nobody had ever come looking for the elephant before. Nonetheless, he let her in and put on some more tea. Perhaps it was the tea, or perhaps Evelyn really was drunk. But for some inexplicable reason, Eugene and Evelyn hit it off immediately. She told him all about her African safari exhibit, and he told her all about his extensive matchbook collection. She came back to see him the next day, and the next day after that, and the day after the next day after that. He had to work sometimes. They did all sorts of things together. They went to the park. They went bird watching. They blew bubbles. They built a jigsaw puzzle. And they even created a spreadsheet cataloging the amount of time they spent together. Eugene had never experienced so much joy outside of the office. Things were going quite well. Eugene lay in bed one night, thinking about animals. Evelyn had told him that aside from their mutual elephant, the only exhibit in the African safari section was a small hedgehog called Simba. Eugene was not sure about the validity of this, but what did he know? At this time of night, he was usually balancing his checkbook and sipping on a glass of warm milk. He considered doing this now. But what the dickens, he thought to himself. I'm a love-struck fellow. To heck with warm milk. It was to visions of Evelyn smiling and blowing bubbles that he fell asleep shortly thereafter. Eugene awoke to the sounds of birds chirping. It was nice. Strolling lazily, he made his way out of the bedroom and into the kitchen. Where he lackadaisically prepared some plain toast. He prepared to take a bite. Nah, he thought, I guess some things never change.